aside from other tech in 2019, a 5.8 inch, a 6.1, and a 6.5 inch. And a triple lens camera. It was rumored for 2018, Apple held off on that, and now in 2019, it's rumored Apple will finally release the iPhones with 3 cameras. If you look left and right to the competition of Apple, everyone has them. Triple lens cameras everywhere. There's already double selfie cameras coming out. So Apple's a little behind in that game, and indeed, triple lens cameras do have some great benefits. So Apple's definitely hopping on this train. Economic Daily News of Taiwan has been reporting on it for the longest time, and they say 2019 is finally the year it happens. Ming-Chi Kuo has commented on it as well, and he is also in agreement that they are working on a triple lens system. He just doesn't know when they're going to release it. And yes, Apple is improving Face ID in several ways. Ming-Chi Kuo is reporting that Face ID is getting an upgrade for the 2019 iPhones, and not in a way that you think. He says that there will be a next generation flood illuminator that improves Face ID by lowering the impact of invisible light from the environment. So less interference means faster results, faster unlocking through Face ID. Right now, it still feels a little slow. It's behind in speed versus fingerprint sensors, so logically, Apple should upgrade Face ID, the speed and performance of it. But it doesn't end there. There have been a lot of rumors that the notch is actually going to get smaller on the 2019 iPhones. And I personally know a lot of people that are holding off from the iPhone 10 just because of how much they hate the notch. And Android phones, if you look left and right, are creating so many solutions trying to find a way around the notch issue. And Apple should be making it smaller for 2019. This is a rumor that's been going around for a long time, so it's not a sure thing. Me speculating, I say it's one of the biggest moot points of the iPhone right now that Apple absolutely needs to improve by making smaller or reducing. And yes, there was a rumor that Apple might remove it altogether, giving you a super clean display. That's definitely going to take some technological magic though, but I don't think it's completely out of the question. So a smaller or completely no notch in 2019. Now this is an absolute dream and I wish it would happen. ET News is saying there's a small possibility Apple could accelerate this and use their patented multi-layer black matrix display technology. What that means is they'd basically be able to have a camera with display around it. This is what's rumored for the Galaxy S10, and Apple might bring it to market with the new iPhone 11. It looks fantastic, much less of an eyesore than having a huge notch there on the top of your display. And next up, Apple's lens supplier for their cameras, Largan Precision, they've been working on this technology to make the camera on the front of your iPhone completely invisible. So they would have a black layer that goes over it that would make it indiscernible from the rest of the darkened out notch. Because right now in certain angles you can't see the camera, it doesn't blend completely. It's such a small thing, but it's something that Apple would certainly do. Just like when they place the flash in the middle of the lens, it's that attention to detail that Apple is known for, so it's very possible in 2020, not next year, but in 2020, they might use that technology on their notch or their cameras in general to make them completely black and invisible from the rest of the notch or whatever it is they're going to be using. And a Korean site, The Investor, is claiming that 2019 will finally be the year of fruition when Apple brings the Apple Pencil or an Apple Pencil-like device to the iPhone. This was rumored for 2018 iPhones, it never happened. Now Ming-Chi Kuo is also saying it's a possibility that that could be coming to the iPhone. So an Apple Pencil or pencil-like stylus could be sold alongside the 2019 iPhones finally. There were rumors earlier that 3D Touch would not be happening on 2019 iPhones. Now a Barclays analyst is saying that yes, 2019 iPhones will completely do away with 3D Touch. Apple took a step towards eliminating it with the iPhone XR, and now they could be removing it entirely for the 2019 lineup. I personally would miss that feature so much. It's so great. Why get rid of it? I try to use haptic touch on the iPhone XR. I just don't like it. I don't like waiting for the same feature that's instant on the iPhone XS. It's such a great thing to have. Why get rid of it? But it would allow for, I guess, a thinner display, thinner device. Is it worth the trade-off though? And at the heart of the 2019 iPhones, we'll find the Apple A13 chip. It's still going to be built exclusively by TSMC using a new 7nm plus structure. So it's still the same size, but they use a new manufacturing process to develop it. It's called extreme ultraviolet lithography, and it's a very difficult to explain process, but it would make making the Apple A13 chip easier. And if it's anything to go by, the Apple A12, the A12X are monsters. The A13 will be even more powerful. That's just hard to picture. Apple's development in the processors is simply unrivaled. And 5G technology, even faster LTE speeds that would be potentially faster than your home Wi-Fi network right now. So MediaTek and Qualcomm are actually accelerating the release schedules for 5G modems, making it more likely that they'd be used in an iPhone in 2019. But if you look at Apple's track record implementing new cellular technologies like 3G or LTE, they were always years behind the competitors, just because they want that technology to be tried and true before putting it into their own iPhones, and it would greatly increase the demand for battery life on the iPhone. And I just don't think Apple's there. The rumor is that in 2020 they'll be adopting it, not next year. And Ming-Chi Kuo did mention that the iPhone 11 will remain IP68 water resistant. So that will not change, it will not lessen, it'll stay exactly at 6 meters where Apple rated it. And in my test, it was more than you'll ever need. So I think the iPhone has reached a durability point where Apple's not going to be really working on that anymore for the foreseeable future, just because they've really attained it. The drop resistance is fantastic. The water resistance, I literally could not kill it at over 40 feet below the water. So that's going to stay at a standstill, but for sure, next year's iPhone will be IP68 water resistant. And this technology that Apple just applied for through the patent office got me really excited. It's called finger tracking in wet environments. It would make your iPhone more usable under the rain. Right now, I live in a rainy state. It rains all the time. As soon as it rains, your iPhone screen becomes very difficult to use. This patent would make your iPhone easier to use or more usable in the rain than previously before, potentially even usable underwater. So I'm very excited about that in the future of iPhones. Okay, so that's a lot of information to take in, but that's basically in a nutshell what we know about the 2019 iPhones. Smaller notches, potentially no notch, unlikely, but would be cool. Triple lens camera, possibly a slightly altered design, although that is not confirmed. Obviously faster, mostly under the cover changes. It's just not going to change as much as it used to in the past. Eventually, where Apple wants to go is a very exciting place, and the technology that it takes to get there, it's still years away, but the iPhone will eventually be a flat slab of glass with no visible protrusions. You won't be able to tell where the screen ends and the bezel begins. Until then, we're going to have these slow, very small, slow upgrade years, but eventually we'll get there. So thanks for watching, guys. That's everything we know about the 2019 iPhones. I'll keep you updated, as always, with any leaks and rumors on that. Peace.